On today's episode of The Unlikely Geeks, we are going to be talking about Metal Gear Solid, the movie, Grand Theft Auto leaks again, as well as many other things, because this is Unlikely Geeks. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Yambo, one half of the Unlikely Geeks here today to give you guys all of the news that you guys missed last week. We are the Sports Center for comics, video games, and movie news, and that's what I'm here to do for you guys today. And we're going to start off with a big thing. Usually we talk about things that we did over the weekend, but Dro's not here, as you guys can see. I also didn't do too much. I did a lot of family stuff. Have grandparents coming over to my house for the first time. Even had my grandfather in this chair talking about just anything he wanted to talk about. Really good memories. We recorded that for the family. It was real nice. But I just want to jump into it because the last story of the day is the biggest story, and I want to read an entire article about it because I'm going to be reading it at the same time that we're going to be reading it together. So starting off with one of the big stories, after 20 years in pre-production limbo, Metal Gear Solid movie will finally come our way. This is from VGC. We're talking about Chris Scullion. He wrote a little article, so we're going to read a little bit about it. When I'm by myself, this is how we do it. So this is going to be the next attempt to make a Metal Gear Solid movie. It's just been announced by the Hollywood Reporter. Sony Pictures signed up Zach Levinsky and Adam Stein, the Canadian director duo that created Final Destination, Bloodlines. So that was the last Final Destination movie. A movie I really enjoyed. That movie made them like almost household names, Hollywood names. And so not only are they doing the new Metal Gear Solid, but there's like 10 other movies that they're supposed to be doing. So who knows when this movie's going to come out. But they got a first look deal with Sony. And let's see. They got a new company called Wonder Labs that they signed up to make and direct this film here. The picture adaptation of the Metal Gear Solid for Sony Columbia Pictures, which is set to be directed by them and produced by Ari and Avi Ard. Those guys are the ones who did the live action Spider-Man movies and produced the Spider-Verse films. And they're also going to be doing the Legend of Zelda movie. So there's a lot of big names for this film. One name you don't hear, Hideo Kojima, who is the guy who created these games, who is the mastermind between all of this stuff. So I don't know, if it's not his creativity, because you know that he goes all over the place. If you guys have ever played a Metal Gear Solid game, you guys know that what you start doing, what you do in the middle, and how you end, you didn't see any of it coming. He's continued that after he left Konami and he started doing Death Stranding. He has 2 other games coming out. One's called OD. The other one, the name is blanking on me at the moment. Fizzant, I believe it is. And that's also going to be some type of movie with Sony Pictures as well. So even though this is his original IP that he no longer owns, this was his baby. He made 1 through 5, a bunch of spinoffs in between. And he's not going to be involved with the movie, at least from what we hear. So who knows if that's going to be any good or not. They said that Oscar Isaac was supposed to play Snake about 6 years ago. We don't know if that's still true. Usually, like the same thing with Blade, when you get started and your name comes up and you're supposed to be cast as this character and the film doesn't go and you're kind of in that limbo, you kind of just move on to other stuff. So who knows if Oscar Isaac is actually going to stay being him. I believe one of the earlier episodes of The Unlikely Geeks, we actually announced that there was another person that was cast. I forgot his name, but he was like an Italian guy or some dude that you didn't really hear too much about. So it is, take it with a grain of salt if this movie is actually going to be made, especially with how busy these new guys are. After Bloodlines came out, I'm telling you, they're supposed to be doing I think there's like 3 or 4 movies that they're supposed to be. So go check out their IMDb, because for 2 guys that are just coming in the game to be in charge of such a huge IP, it's the same thing with Zach Kruger that was making that he made Weapons, that he's going to be in charge of Resident Evil. So they say he's going to do his own thing with that. It's going to be very different, not have anything to do with the actual characters in the story, but its own version in that world. That's going to be a little bit off. So who knows what they'll do here? Will they do the same thing with Metal Gear? Will they, continue the story? Will it be like Metal Gear 6 or will it be Metal Gear 1? There's a lot of questions. Would I want a Metal Gear movie? Not too much, because to me it feels like just play the games. The games are movies. But then again, there's so many. Last of Us, the way they did that was they adapted the game verbatim, note for note, and that was great. Then you got Fallout that just did a kind of alternate. This takes place in between two games, but it's not a story you've heard before type deal. And then you have something like Uncharted that's like, let's take a little piece of like all three of our games and put it into one movie and make it a little bit different, but kind of the same. So there's obviously many ways to do it. I was going to say Scooby Doo, but Super Mario now does it where it's just its own little thing, like complete different story. Has nothing to do with the games, but that's again a cartoon and that's for children. So who really is to say? This could be just a generic spy movie, espionage film. It's like we've seen a million other times with action films. Or it could be some crazy out of this world where, he's trying to protect, the secrets of the government. And then now there's aliens coming and, phantoms here, because that's what those games are. So if you've never played a Metal Gear Solid game, no idea why you're watching Unlikely Geeks. You don't sound like that much of a geek. But thank you for watching, liking, and subscribing. And go play those. At least play, 4. 4 is one of my favorites. It was the first one I actually got almost all the way through. The best graphics in the world at that time. 5 is great, but the ending, there's a lot of drama. If you guys don't know about that, I'm sure there's a lot of op-eds about it. 1, I played 1. I wasn't good at 1, but I was also 1. I was like 6 years old. So that game was never going to be beat by me. I did buy the new one, Metal Gear Delta. I've played half of the tutorial, and then Crimson Desert came out. And as for the Crimson Desert update, I'm like 5 days in. So 5 times 24 hours. Listen, I'm way over 100 hours. And I'm like, I think 3 levels left. But I just said, forget all that. I'm doing all the side quests. Crimson Desert, best game of the year so far. I'm not saying that if Grand Theft Auto comes out or Fable comes out, those won't be better. But right now, Crimson Desert over Resident Evil. And I loved Resident Evil. You guys know it. You guys see the streams. Go check that out on YouTube. Unlikely Geeks Plays. But Crimson Desert, far and beyond my favorite game so far. I haven't played a game for this long ever. Over 100 hours? Never. I think the closest I got was maybe Assassin's Creed Origins or Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Those were the 2. And yeah, I think even Assassin's Creed Shadows, I played like 75 hours. But I'm well over 100 hours, and I just want to go back to it. I can't wait. So if you haven't got Crimson Desert yet, or you don't know what Crimson Desert is, craziness, but go play that for sure. The next story here is on Deadline by Armando Tinoso. And he says, X-Men reboot director Jake Schreier says Beef creator and The Bear showrunner are writing the script for the Marvel film. If you guys don't know what Beef is, it was that Netflix television show that had the lady from Fresh Off the Boat, I believe, and the guy from The Walking Dead, the Asian guy. It was a cool show. You guys know, notoriously, I don't like Netflix all that much, but I did watch this one on and off. And it was a good show. I don't even understand really. It started off as a dude almost hitting the lady, and the lady started freaking out and going after the guy in the car. And then it went on to some like mobster. It was nuts. So they're going to be, and then The Bear. Now, The Bear is incredible. If you haven't seen that, go watch that. I love food shows and food movies. Like not reality show food, but like The Chef. I watch The Chef maybe 2 times a year. The Bear is awesome. Last season is this year, I believe, coming out soon. And, for them, it shows written incredibly. So for them both to be writing the script, that seems pretty cool. You guys know how I feel about two really profound and really good writers coming together and writing a script. At least they're not doing what they tried to do with G.I. Joe, which was they were both writing their own individual scripts and they were going to try to like Frankenstein them together. Here it looks like they're probably doing some type of collaboration together. And so that's going to be cool. Let's read a little bit about what they're saying here. In an interview, the Thunderbolts director said the X-Men movie was still in development stage. And Lee Seung-jin and Joanna Kahlo have come in and they're working on a draft right now, which is really exciting to be able to put that group of people together again. The filmmaker calls Lee Seung-jin and Joanna Kahlo two of the most interesting shows on television right now. Adding, when you go back and read X-Men, the comics, there's an ideology, but there's also interpersonal drama. Almost of a sort of a soap opera type quality. Having writers who understand both how to drive ideology from personal stakes, if we get that right, this will feel like the most honest to what X-Men can be. And that's exactly right. Both of those shows are, there's big stakes, small stakes, but like to them, it's the biggest thing ever. In The Beef, they're trying to open their restaurant. They're trying to survive. Their, restaurants close very quickly. And they don't do well. And these guys have their own issues. Him and his cousin, him and the, just all of this stuff. So if they get to do that right here, all I ask, give my boy Cyclops some good, redeem him. You know what I mean? I love the dude who played Cyclops in the original trilogy, but they did him dirty as a character. He was a great Scott Summers. But they did him dirty in the films. Don't do him dirty this time. He's the leader of the X-Men. Don't give it a Wolverine. Don't let Jean Grey. Don't let the Beast. Don't do something dumb. Cyclops is the leader. Let that be the case, please. We're jumping around. We're going to, this could be a short episode. You guys know how it is when I'm by myself. Dro has wrote me and said that he would like to follow up tomorrow and do another special episode for everybody with us because he has a bunch of stuff he wants to talk about things that are going on tomorrow. What is going on tomorrow? He says that there's a lot of Comic-Con, Cinecon news. CinemaCon, not Cinnamon Con. This ain't about Cinnabons. CinemaCon. So apparently CinemaCon is coming out, is, well on their way. So there's going to be a lot of things announced. And he wants to talk about that tomorrow. So 2 shows in 1 week. I mean, there's been weeks we've missed. So that's a good thing. So yeah, next news. According to claims, this is just straight off Twitter, so it could still be a rumor. We're talking about it here because of people's excitement for it and how everybody that was reaching out to us wanted us to speak about it, but I'll speak about it today. So according to claims, FIFA has reportedly reached an agreement with Take-Two, with 2K for naming rights following the termination of his deal with EA Sports. 2K, the people who do 2K, NBA 2K, WWE 2K, they got that name ripped apart from EA. It was bad. Now they make EA Football Club, so that's a soccer game, but they don't have the rights to FIFA, the name. It didn't really stop EA from making a boatload of money. So they're probably not missing the FIFA brand, but there's a lot of people that are FIFA loyalists. I know right now FIFA is coming out with a game with Netflix. It's going to be a mobile game that's going to be trash. So they're going to finally do a real game again. It's been, 3-4 years since? And now they're coming out with 2K. And 2K does really good sport games. They just monetize the hell out of them. And they're money hungry. But so is EA. So there's really no win-win here. But yeah, so it said that 2K Games is hiring former EA employees for its new soccer project. The game is expected to release ahead of the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Ronaldo is expected to be on the game cover. And independently of 2K, FIFA has also announced its agreement with Netflix, like I said, for a redesigned soccer simulation for the 2026 World Cup. So that just says that there's going to be a phone game by Netflix, and there's going to be a real game for the real gamers by 2K. The graphics are going to be great. I mean, I believe 2K NBA looks better than Madden when it comes to graphics, personally. So, you know, this game's going to be gorgeous. So, there's that. I'm not really the sport game guy. That's more Dro. He doesn't play FIFA as much. I know that. But let's do a little tangent because, you know, I love talking about my child. Me and him played FIFA when it came to Game Pass. And I think it was like FIFA 24. And I think it was like 3 years ago. 2 years ago. It had to be, right? Because it was 24, 23, 24. So he was coming like, yo, let's got to play the soccer game. Let's play one round. So we would play the soccer game, and I would think he wouldn't understand it. There's so many people on the field. You got to press X to change your character, all this stuff. I feel like football's easier. Madden's easier. I feel like MLB The Show would be easier. But that kid got on FIFA and was decent. He was a bad goalie, so I always won. And I stopped playing college football with him when he kicked my ass in college football. I think he scored 128 points, and I had like 14. I still show him that. I took a picture of it with him next to it, and I show it to him all the time. But he couldn't touch me in FIFA. So I'm excited for it to come back. And, yeah, I'll probably end up buying it. I might be a little bit more of a soccer fan. One of his best friends loves soccer, so he's getting more into that. Probably not to play it because basketball and baseball are still his thing. But, yeah, so I'm excited. This is good news for me, you know, especially – it's not going to come out free on Game Pass because they have a deal with EA. They don't really have a deal with 2K. But hopefully it's on sale eventually. I'll buy this year's next year, and I'll be 1 year behind, just like I am with Madden, because I'm a broke boy. Not just playing. Other video game news. Uncharted 5 is being reported. We talked about this last time. But it says the story is reportedly going to feature both Nathan Drake and his daughter Cassie as dual protagonists, which makes a lot of sense. If you played Last of Us, they are definitely the type of, Naughty Dog is loving the two protagonist deal where you get to play as two people. You have somebody following you, having your back. You know, you kill somebody and they collect the loot for you, stuff like that. They love that dynamic. It gives that fun, playful banter where you play as one person, switch to the other to do something different. A lot of games are doing it. I mean, you're doing it in GTA. You do it in all of those, I call them dating games because they're the ones I always play with whatever girl, where you play on one side of the screen or the other, like It Takes Two and stuff like that. Now, for the record, I've never beat any of those games with any girls. We play one level and we never talk again. I did beat the game with my little brother, though. So, yeah, if you want to play with me, you know who you are. We got to get back on that. But, yeah, so let's see. Sean Escagi from The Lost Legacy. I did not say your last name right. My apologies. He's going to be leading the project. The Lost Legacy, another game where there were two protagonists. The game has been worked on for over 3 years. And guess when it's going to come out, y'all? Wrong. 2029. Nobody said that. Who thinks that far ahead? But anyways, we have they have the space game that's coming out sometime this year or next year. Then they'll probably do another Last of Us remaster somehow. Yeah. So 2029 is far as hell away. We shouldn't even be talking about this right now, but that's the news. All right. Let's see. Let me jump here. I'm going to jump ahead of some news so that way I can get to the last two. On April 16th, so in 3 days, Metro 2039 is going to be announced, and Xbox is giving us a first look. If you guys don't know what Metro is, Metro 2066, 2026. One of these Metro games, man, there's 3 of them. I know one of them is Exodus. The other one is The Last Light. I forgot the name of the first one. But damn, I love these games back in the day. they're like the Stalker games that would be only on the computer, but these were for the Xbox. So I remember playing them first person. You're playing in like the Chernobyl, not, I don't think this is in Chernobyl. It might be, but it's in like that area, and big aliens coming at you, like monsters, mutated things, kind of like Fallout, but not really. I can't even explain it. It's been a long time since I played it, but damn, I love this game. What's up, chat? Man, I I played those first two games, and it's the fact they're coming out with another one, and they're based on books, and these books were really good, and of course, I've not read them. I heard they were really good. They were made into games, for goodness sake. But I thought the last game was the last game. So the fact they're coming out with 2039, I don't think you're going to play as the same guy. Not for spoilers, but just say I don't think we're going to play as the same guy. So I wonder how this game is going to be. Looking forward to it. If we're going to watch it on April 16th, we won't be able to watch it together, live together, but we will talk about it next Monday or Tuesday when we have our show. I promise you that. The last with the video game stuff before I get to the two big news topics that I wanted to talk about. And this is just for me. I got real excited when I heard this. Dune Awakening, the MMO game that came out a couple months ago. It's probably been over 6 months by now that I really wanted to play and never got to. They're turning that game from a survival MMO into a PvE first experience with a lot less PvP. So for those who don't know the initials, again, Unlikely Geeks, I feel like you would know. PvE is player versus enemy. So they're turning a survival MMO into more of a single player game. Right up my alley. That's the reason I didn't buy the game in the first place, was because I'm not really the MMO guy. You got Crimson Desert. I'm going to talk about it. Made by the people who made Black Desert, which is an MMO. I didn't play that. Crimson is a single player. I'm going to play that. So they ended up turning Dune Awakening into a single player game, kind of basically. So I'm all over that. I cannot wait to jump on it. I don't know when it's going to happen, but whenever it does, that'll be when I buy it. If it's anything like The Witcher, when The Witcher got their upgrades, The Witcher 3, what they do is they start dropping the game lower in price. But then when they do a huge update like this, now they bring it back up to the real price. And now when it goes on sale, it's never as low as it was. So I'm going to look at it before they get to announcing that they're going to make this change. I'm probably going to buy it while it's still an MMO and the price is low. I recommend you do the same. So keep an eye on that. All right. The big news for today is that there are two leaks that happened over the weekend. Big leaks. The first being Avatar, Aang, The Last Airbender. The whole movie was leaked online. Somebody hacked Paramount. I don't know how they did it. And they showed it, the whole thing. Did I watch it? No. There's a clip going. I don't think they actually released the whole thing, but they did release a clip. And I saw 30 seconds of like a 5-minute clip. And I was like, I got to stop. It wasn't AI. It wasn't fake. It was legit. And they're saying the user who leaked it says and claims that Nickelodeon accidentally emailed it to them. So now they're emailing movies back and forth in the MP4 or however with no freaking zip file, with no password protection. They're just like, hey, do you like the movie? This is how I do my video editing. When somebody calls me to do their music video and whatever, I just send them a thing. Actually, I upload it to YouTube and then I send it to them on a private link. And I'm like, yo, do you like it? No, you want to edit something? Bet. Boom, boom. I would hope that's not how a major movie production studio does it, but obviously they use email. So if you worked for Google, you could probably see all the movies early, damn it. So the movie's supposed to release October 9th of this year. It was supposed to be in the theaters. Then it came to be streaming only. And now I believe it's going to go back to being in the theaters because of all the backlash. But a lot of people are upset because one of the characters is, I think they changed the sexual orientation of the character for the film, which doesn't make any sense because I believe it's canon that she had 2 kids. but they're mad because they think that when they in the original show she wasn't like heterosexual, whatever. It's a mess. People love to complain about everything. Um, and that was a scene I saw. It's the blind girl Tang, I think her name is, or you guys know I'm the worst with names. Um, but for a blind person, there's a dead body, there's somebody on the ground, and she's like, "Oh, he seems handsome. He looks is he handsome? Because somebody confirm he's handsome." And now everybody's like, "Wait, what are you talking about handsome? Aren't you supposed to be right?" It's a whole thing. Um, but the whole movie was leaked. Apparently, I wasn't able to see it. Would I have wanted to see it? I probably would have, but I would go back and watch the movie anyway. Um, as a movie update, there were two movies last week I forgot to mention, and I forgot to mention again because I forgot what they are. One of them is Forbidden Fruits. That movie was really good. Vampire cult, like Mean Girls is what they call it, but I didn't see that. But it's a very girly movie. If you're watching it as a straight man by yourself, more power to you. That's what I did. But it's a girly ass movie. That's for your girl. Um, but yeah. So this movie, even if I saw the bootleg, I would go watch it. Uh, I've done that in the past. You know, as a kid, you get them CDs from the corner or whatever. You still buy the DVD when it comes out. It's always better quality, and I like to support the arts, even if I can't at that moment. I will later. All right, almost 30 minutes in. I'm reading everything about this one. Rockstar hackers released data early after GTA makers refused to pay the ransom. This is from Kotaku. And yeah, so yesterday it was announced that there were some hackers that got into some server and they pulled a bunch of files and was like, "Yo, Rockstar, throw us the bag, or by 8 o'clock tomorrow, it's coming out." And they called their bluff. They're like, "You ain't gonna do nothing. You ain't gonna do nothing." And I guess they did something. This just dropped as I'm setting up for the show today. So that changed the momentum of everything. I was going to wait until tomorrow to do the show with Dro, but you already know that's got to go. We doing this. So here we go. All right. Shiny Hunters, the hacking group that breached Rockstar's digital system over the weekend, has now released its ill-gotten data onto the internet for the Grand Theft Auto 6 makers reportedly refusing to pay their ransom. On April 13th, a day before the previously posted deadline, Shiny Hunters released data it claimed has been stolen by Rockstar via an exploit related to the company's cloud server provider and metric software. The files can be downloaded from Shiny Hunters website. Ooh, don't do it. Located in the dark web. I don't even know how to get to the dark web. Along with uploading the files, the hacker group posted the message denying past reports that it was selling the Rockstar data for $200,000 on Telegram and taunting Rockstar Games. Here's a full message. Your Snowflake instant metrics data was compromised thanks to Antidot.com. We do not operate on Telegram channels, and the data was never for sale, like reported on X, formerly Twitter, for $200K. It is now leaked. How does it feel to be a headline? Ooh, mysterious. According to those who have recently seen the leaked data, it's mostly metrics information about GTA Online, Red Dead Online, and how much money those games were bringing in daily and weekly. People have seen the data, say it includes info, specific countries, spending habits on Rockstar games. Well, that's not even a damn good of a story, is it, guys? You just get to know that they make millions of dollars all the time. Damn, got me hyped up for nothing. See, this is why we got to read the stories before we start talking about it. We talking about it live, and now we all disappointed. I'm just here to disappoint y'all. But anyways, if you wanted to know that they make $1 billion a freaking month, now you know they make $1 billion a freaking month. What isn't here, at least based on early reports, is that any Grand Theft Auto 6 source code files, assets, player data that could be cause major issues for Rockstar or provide the community with a juicy leak. That's what I wanted. I wanted a juicy, juicy leak. For what you were hoping for that, this ain't what that leak is at all. That makes sense, as it doesn't seem like Shiny Hunters didn't gain access to Rockstar's internal computer or data. Instead, they reportedly used an exploit in the third-party cloud software metrics provider to pull the financial stats. So you're telling me that you want a bunch of money from us, me being Rockstar, obviously. You want a bunch of money from us to tell people that we make a bunch of money? Yeah, I'm gonna call your bluff. You ain't gonna do nothing. Like you don't have anything that we are scared. Go tell people I'm rich. Feel free. What a bummy story. Y'all, I'm hella disappointed right now. Finally, I got one last story for you. Xbox has revealed 18 Game Pass titles for April. You want to talk about them? Because guess what? I love Game Pass. It might be $30, but in other news, the new CEO of Xbox has said that Game Pass is too damn expensive and they're looking for ways to make it less. We talked about it before where they were trying to include Netflix. Now I think they're just going to drop the price. And then there's a rumor that they're going to remove Call of Duty from being day one. That would suck. I kind of like the idea of not having to buy Call of Duty every year. I have. The last couple years, I haven't. Especially when they did the multiplayer only Black Ops, especially when they did Modern Warfare 3, the remake of Modern Warfare 3, where they did it a year or two ago and they got horrible reviews. So I didn't buy that one either. But other than those two, I had bought them all. I like the idea of it coming on Xbox day and date because that's how I was able to play the last one. And I liked the last. Well, did I like the last one? I don't remember, but I played the last one. Anyways, so this again is from Chris Scullion on VGC. So games coming in April. Final Fantasy IV. What number is that? Psh, you tell me. That game's coming to Game Pass Ultimate, Game Pass Premium. All of these are coming to all of them. DayZ is coming out on PC. DayZ, you guys don't know what that is? Figure it out. It's really good. Endless Legends 2. Don't know what the hell that is. FBC Firebreak. That's a game made by Alan Wake team, Control. This game actually, when it came out, it was on Game Pass. I didn't even realize they took it out. That's how little I played that game. It's fun though, but it's multiplayer and you need 3 people to play with you. And I don't know 3 people. Planet Coaster 2. Create your own theme park. Tiny Bookshop. The hell is that? No idea. Football Manager 26 comes out April 13th. And Football Manager for the console also comes out April 13th. The big one, April 14th, which is tomorrow, Hades 2. Play it. Play it, play it, play it. It's a roguelike, kind of top down. You haven't played Hades 1, absolutely should been played that. Hades 2, also a little bit better. Some would say they're both equal to me. I bought the game on the PC when it first came out last year, and now it's finally coming to console. But people on the Xbox could play for free. I never beat it on the PC. I don't think it's cloud save. So now that it's on Game Pass, I'm going to have to restart, which sucks. I got really far on the PC version. But anyways, I'm playing Crimson Desert, and until I beat Crimson Desert, I'm probably not touching none of this. Replaced is also coming out April 14th tomorrow. Replace is a good game I've been hype about. Do I remember anything about it? No, but I remember the name. The Theramachurga. I'll spell it for you. THAUMATURGE. That's not even a word. These people making things up. This game, don't know what it is. I'll probably check it out though. Unless it's a RTS side scroller. I've played games like that. I like games like that. But if it's one of those, I don't got time for that. Elder Scrolls Oblivion, the remastered, coming out April 16th. Again, another game that I thought was already out. EA Sports NHL 26. I haven't played a hockey game ever. I don't know. Remember when NFL Blitz and NBA Street, they had a NHL version of that. I played that one. But that was the closest. I think that was all the closest thing I played a hockey game. Call of Duty Modern Warfare, April 17th. We talked about that. That's the first, I think that's the first reboot one. That was good. I like that one a lot. Little Rockets Lab comes out April 21st. Know what the hell that is. Sopa, The Tale of Stolen Potato. I don't think it's called Sopa, but that's how I say it with my Puerto Rican accent. Sopa. So I'll check that one out. I don't know what that is. Nope. I'm looking at the picture of it right now. Doesn't look like my type of game. Vampire Crawlers, the next game from Vampire Survivors, which is a game I enjoyed. But this game looks very different from it, even though it looks very similar to it. Check both of those out to see what I mean. That game comes out April 21st. And then or Kill Pottery. This game's kind of cool. It's a party game. You make your own pottery of any type of design, and then your pottery fight each other. It's made by the same guy who from Psychonauts, that same team, Double Fine. So that's the big game of the year, pretty much, or big game of the month, pretty much, that is coming to the platform. And I'll check that one out for sure. Xbox also notes that Ashen Eiyuden Chronicles 100 Heroes, which I didn't even know was on Game Pass, and Grand Theft Auto 5, My Little Pony, a Zephyr Heights Mystery, and Terra Invicta will be removed from Game Pass tomorrow, which means if you want to get it for that little Game Pass discount that they give you, like 10, 5, 10, 20%, you better get Grand Theft Auto right now. And if you don't have Grand Theft Auto, like the legit real version already, like you haven't purchased it sometime over the last 13 years, for the third time, what are you watching my show for? Like, what are you doing, dude? Thank you for watching. You're learning. And I love this. And I know you're not going to miss Grand Theft Auto 6 when it comes out because we're going to talk about it together. But Grand Theft Auto 5 is going to be leaving the system, going to be leaving Game Pass tomorrow. So download it today. Beat it today. You have what, like 4 hours? Good luck. Anyways, guys, another short and sweet episode. I'll leave you with one little news article here from Discussion Films on Twitter. Speed will star as Speed in the new anime series written by Matt Owens from One Piece. So the Twitch streamer Speed is going to have his own anime show. Cool. Freaking Will Smith's son had an anime show, Neo Tokyo. I think that was on Netflix. That was good. I don't know why they didn't continue because I like that one. I don't even watch an anime like that, but I like Will Smith. So by proxy, I wanted to see what his son was up to. Anyways, it's been Unlikely Geeks. I'm your boy Yambo. Thank you guys for tuning in. Tomorrow we'll come back with another episode that Dro wants to take over and talk about everything going on at CinemaCon. And I'll make sure to have some cinnamon buns here while we go watch that and enjoy the episode together. Until next time, you guys, go out there and save the world. Peace.